Reach for the sponge by your kitchen sink. Bright yellow on one side, scratchy green on the other, fused into one block you've used 1,000 times. Pause for a second. Those two halves aren't the same material. They aren't even from the same industry. The yellow side is a chemical foam built for furniture cushions. The green side started as a synthetic abrasive for cleaning factory floors. How they ended up married into the world's most boring kitchen object. A story that runs through World War II, a forgotten German chemist, and a single 1958 invention is exactly what we chase. Welcome to The Reason Why. Walk to your kitchen sink and pick up the sponge. Run your thumb across one side. It's soft, like a tiny pillow, slightly tacky, made to hold water. Now flip it over. The other side is rough, almost violent. Fibers like fine wire wool, sharp enough to scratch enamel and lift dried egg yolk if you push too hard. Two different surfaces glued back to back, and you've never thought twice about why. The strange part is, those halves don't share a chemistry. They don't share a factory. They don't even share a decade of invention. Somebody decided to bond two unrelated products into one rectangular brick. The combination got copied by every brand, and the kitchen never went back. Begin with the yellow side. It's polyurethane foam, a polymer, not a natural sponge, more closely related to mattress padding and car seat cushions than to the sea creature it's pretending to be. The chemistry was discovered by a German researcher named Otto Bayer in 1937, working at IG Farben in Leverkusen. He was looking for a synthetic plastic that could compete with the new American invention called nylon. He didn't quite get nylon. He got a polymer that could be foamed into almost any density, from the firmness of a pillow to the rigidity of a board. Within 20 years, that foam was insulating refrigerators, padding airline seats, lining shoes, and softening every couch in America. The green half came from somewhere stranger. In 1958, chemical engineers at 3M were working on a synthetic substitute for steel wool. The metal pads rusted, scratched chrome, and shed sharp slivers in the kitchen sink. The 3M team tested non-woven nylon fibers held together with resin, then dipped them in aluminum oxide grit. The result was a soft-edged green pad that scrubbed harder than steel wool but didn't rust or shed metal. 3M called it Scotch-Brite, and they sold it for industrial floor cleaning. It was never meant for your kitchen. Sometime in the early 1960s, someone at 3M took a sheet of Scotch-Brite and laminated it to a polyurethane sponge from a different supplier entirely. And here's where it gets stranger. The combination works because of geometry, not chemistry. Each half does a job the other physically cannot. The yellow polyurethane is a porous foam, tens of thousands of tiny air bubbles per cubic inch. Surface tension pulls a film of liquid soap across the plate as you scrub. The green abrasive is the opposite, a stiff lattice of nylon fibers with hard grit baked in, designed to lift hardened material the foam alone slides past. One absorbs, one cuts. Neither half can do the other's job. Glue them together, and you get a single tool that's actually two tools. Without the lamination, you'd need two separate sponges every time you washed up. By 1970, the two-tone sponge had crossed every kitchen border on Earth. There's no single inventor of the universal version, no single patent that locked it in. Cellulose sponges, which had dominated American kitchens since the 30s, lost the entire market in less than a decade. The two-tone design replaced them on durability. Cellulose tears under heavy scrubbing. Polyurethane stretches, recovers, and holds its shape through hundreds of dish loads. The price collapsed alongside the petrochemical industry through the 60s. By the time the average kitchen threw out its last cellulose pad, the green and yellow brick had become the silent default. Walk down any supermarket cleaning aisle and you'll see the same shape, same colors, same dimensions. in 50 languages. There's another oddity to those two colors. The green of Scotch-Brite is the same green 3M still uses on their medium-duty industrial pads almost 70 years later. The yellow on the foam is the same yellow polyurethane has worn since the 1960s. Walk into a chemical supply warehouse today, and you'll see green abrasive blocks the size of suitcases, all the same shade. Walk into a furniture factory, and you'll see yellow foam being cut for couch cushions, all the same shade. The brick by your sink samples both colors at once. Two industries that have nothing to do with your sink, both visible on the brick on your counter. We just stopped paying attention to the color codes. The sponge industry has tried to disrupt the green and yellow brick for decades. Antibacterial silver coatings appeared in the early 2000s. Compostable cellulose blends came back in the 2010s. Microfiber pads, copper mesh scrubbers, silicone bristles, all of them targeted the same kitchen aisle. None of them killed the original. The green and yellow combo still owns most of the global dish sponge market. The reasons are weirdly simple. It's incredibly cheap. It's universally familiar. The colors signal the function so fast that no instructions are needed. A child can pick up a sponge they've never seen and know which side cleans the pan and which side wipes the counter. Color-coded tools beat any tool that needs to be explained. But this isn't really a story about kitchen sponges. It's a story about how universal everyday objects get assembled out of accidents. Otto Bayer was hunting nylon. He stumbled onto a foam. The 3M chemists were hunting an alternative to steel wool. They stumbled onto an abrasive that scratched chromeless. Neither of them was trying to make the rectangular brick on your counter. Neither of them ever saw it. The sponge wasn't designed by someone. It was assembled by 60 years of marketing departments noticing what worked and gluing the leftover pieces together until the result became invisible. That's the rule for almost every object you touch in a day. The screwdriver, the doorknob, the soap bottle, the toothbrush, the sponge. Each of them is a stack of patents from different decades, repurposed by someone who didn't invent any of the parts, but figured out how the parts fit. A patent here, a wartime accident there, a brand decision in 1963, a chemist in Leverkusen who was trying to do something else. You didn't pick up the sponge. The sponge was assembled out of the past 100 years of industry, and it landed in your hand. And the strangest thing is, you'll throw it away tomorrow without noticing any of it, just like you did the last one. There's a whole library of these on the channel. Buried histories of objects you reach for every day. Subscribe to The Reason Why, and the next one finds you when it lands.